Welcome to Downshift. My name is Matt, and I've spent the last few days here in the canyons above LA with the Maserati GranCabrio. There's a lot to love about this car, so I'm going to show you everything that you need to know about this Maserati GranCabrio Trofeo. Let's get into it. Now the first question is going to be, what's new for 2025? And the truth is there's no significant changes from 24 to 25. The GranCabrio, though, just means it's the drop top or convertible version of the Gran Turismo that we've had to go in previously. There's about 5 colors and it's a soft top, and we'll talk about that more in a little bit. But for those that don't know, this is a GT car, not a sports car, so its competitors are less 911 and think things more like the Mercedes SL 55 and 63, maybe even the 43, the Lexus LC 500 that we have come to know and love on the channel, the Aston Martin DB12, and the Bentley Continental. But then we'll talk about what's under the hood, and yes, there's no more V8, but you get a very charismatic Nettuno V6. It's 3 liters, twin turbo, and here in the Trofeo, it makes 542 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 is done in the low to mid 3 seconds, and for fuel economy, you're going to be somewhere around 18, at least that's what I've been seeing, but I've been driving pretty hard. Or if you go for the Modena trim, the lower or detuned version, you could say, you can maybe expect around 21 mpg. Now there is going to be, or there is, a full EV Folgore, if you really care about efficiency that much. But your top speed for the Trofeo, 198 miles an hour. But in terms of drivetrain, you get a ZF 8-speed transmission and all-wheel drive, as standard. No matter what trim, no matter fixed roof or drop top, you're gonna get all-wheel drive, which makes it pretty dailyable, even in Wisconsin, even in December. And then we'll talk about the weight and dynamics, and of course we'll talk about this more behind the wheel, but this thing sounds great, even for not having the V8 underneath the hood. The braps that you get on shift, the snarl that you get from the V6, it's way more character than any 6-cylinder you'd get from Germany. But it is a GT car. The GT is in the name, or at least it would be if this thing had a metal roof. But you get air suspension, and you get the Skyhook E active damping system, and it works really well. The balance for on-road daily stuff is really soft, comfortable, deals with bumps, and then it does firm itself up for these canyon runs up here. You've got an LSD or an ELSD in the rear. You've got a nose lift system, so you're not going to stuff the nose into some pavement. But the engine is set way back behind the front axle, so this is a front midship engine, which does help with the balance. The front end does seem long and maybe a little bit heavy, but we'll talk about that more again behind the wheel. But the balance here on the GranCabrio is pretty good. And then we will touch on styling. Now, everything in this class does look pretty good, but this is definitely no exception. And it's Italian, so it does need to look good. It looks aggressive and it looks modern. It looks a lot like the previous generation GT, which is a good thing because it was one of the most beautiful cars ever designed. But here, you've got your Trident and another Trident and your typical Fang. Active grille, but you do have carbon fiber. This is part of a package, and you've got some more modern and unique running lights with a triple amber detail up here and the Trident. The hood has some air channels up here, but it is a mile long in typical GT fashion. And we'll come around the side because I do want to show you the paint, and it's a little bit dirty up here. But look at this paint. Now, black, generally speaking, one of the more boring colors, but this, when you really get it in some sunlight, especially in the morning or in the afternoon near sunrise and sunset, brings a lot of character. This is the Nero Assoluto paint, but look at that hood, a mile long. You've got 20-inch wheels up front with these blue brakes sticking out from underneath. That's $500, and 21s in the back. So offset, staggered set. You've got Trofeo and the triple detail, and the Trofeo is rimmed in red. That's exclusive to the Trofeo. And down below you do have some carbon fiber detailing for your skirt. But we'll back out here so you can take a look at the profile. This is a very long car, but look how elegant and sexy it looks. Look at the back rear hip. You've got some nice flaring. Here comes a Supra at full chat. And his friend, oh, the first Z Nismo in the wild I've seen. I guess you would see him up the canyons. They're going for it. Anyway, this is a nice flared rear hip, very sexy look, and you get a carbon fiber wing back here and some very clean LED running lights. And there you have it. They must be doing a test. That's a right-hand drive. That's a right-hand drive Nismo. Anyway, you do have quad tips back here, a nice exaggerated diffuser, GranCabrio, the Maserati script, and the typical Maserati Fang. But I do like the carbon fiber, and it's just a handsome, handsome car, isn't it? Now, as we talk about the convertible top, you go here into your lower screen, you hit Cabrio, and then to close it, you swipe it forward and hold. The windows go down, the top goes up. Going up is about 14 seconds, and going down is 16, either that or it's reversed. But you've got 5 different colors to choose from. It is a soft top, and it's pretty refined with the top up. You can do this up to about 31 miles an hour. There's another Z. What are all these Z's doing up here? And then we'll talk trunk. Now on the non-cabriolet, this would be powered and close and lock. $225,000 is where this car is testing, so a spoiler for the end of the video. And we have a manual trunk, a little bit weird, maybe due to the top thing. Now, generally speaking, with the non-convertible, you get about 11 cubic feet of space, which is competitive. It's bigger than the SL, it's bigger than the LC, but here with the soft top, that's gonna eat about half your space. So it drops to about 5 cubic feet with this thing down. Now, with the top up, I can flip this up, and that gives me an extra cubic feet, so 6 cubic feet of space. But you do have a little 12 volt back here, and you have your battery and things back here for weight distribution and balance, but it is pretty tight. Now, that being said, you do have rear seats, which is where my luggage lived on the way to the hotel from the airport. But there's your trunk. Didn't expect it to be huge, and it's not. But that's kind of the price you pay for this class and this sex appeal. I mean, look at this thing. And then speaking of back seats, we'll check them out. Now, this is the issue. So you've got this thing here. Now, most every convertible I've ever reviewed, you pull this and it's gonna lock itself in that position to get itself out of the way. This doesn't lock, so the driver's seat more specifically has a tendency to then bounce back or come back. So a little bit of a nitpick there, but I'll step back here. I'm 6'1", and I'll pull the seat back. For reference, it's going to hit my knee, and then it's going to bounce back an inch to give me some space. So it's hit my knee, it's registering that, and now it's going to give me about an inch. That still gives the person in front of me a bit of space, so that is pretty nice. And back here, the amenities are okay. You've got 2 cup holders. They are small, they're more Red Bull oriented than anything, but that's okay, at least I have them. I've got an air vent back here, I've got USB-C, USB-A, and then the bigger change is right here. Now in the Gran Turismo, the non-cabriolet, this would be a pass-through. Here it's just a speaker, but you do have the really pretty Sonus Faber speaker grills here. You do have the Maserati embossments in the headrest. It's really nice off-white leather. Overall, it's a good back seat. I am noticing I'm a pretty broad person, and this is maybe a little bit struggling for shoulder room, but definitely not for headroom, obviously. So overall, I would give a thumbs up to the back seat in the GranCabrio. And then we'll check out the front seats. Of course, the door is a mile long. But then here, this is the ice interior. That's that kind of off-white material, the same Trident embossments here. You have the neck scarf with 3 levels of heat, which is super nice. These seats are heated, they are cooled, they don't massage, maybe a little bit of a miss, but I'm okay with it. But this is the proper color for a convertible, especially in warmer climates. So this is very thoughtful, and I do like the neck scarf thing. Now, of course, there's memory seats. That's in the controls in the center screen here. But overall, the seats are comfy. The leather is really nice. It's a high quality leather, and I like it. I like the chevron detailing. The perforation's nice. It's a good, comfortable seat. Some people say it's firm, but I kind of disagree. Then I want to talk about the interior, the cabin experience as a whole, because it's really ornate, it's very bespoke, and it's very luxury. Starting with the door card, which is a mile long, leather wrapping everywhere. Beautiful white stitching, which matches this. You do have the digital release for your door handle, manual fail-safe right there. Beautiful Sonus Faber speaker grills here, exposed carbon fiber. This is like a brushed, it's not aluminum, it's not wood, it's just like a nice brushed material. You've got this Easter egg here, Maserati since 1914, GranCabrio badge, little Italian flag detail, perforated leather dash, leather upper dash, nice stitching again, but a very clean, very bespoke, and very true luxury experience in here. Everything is wrapped in leather, and everything is super nice, especially the exposed weave carbon fiber. And then in terms of the technology, again, you get pretty much everything that you could want. You get a head-up display. It gives you a bunch of information. You've got your little guy there, you've got your speed there, it's changeable, and then your full digital center console. I can change what I have in the different pods. I can change the look of the pods overall. So there's lots of customizability here, 12.3 inches or whatever it is. You do have a really pretty good safety suite. This has the ADAS full suite. It's about $6,800, but it does work pretty well. Your adaptive cruise, your lane keep, it's a nice feature, especially to have on a GT car. Center screen here. Well, two center screens, I should say. 12.3 inches up here, 8.8 inches down here. This is kind of the Audi mentality. So you have media and things up here, and then creature comforts down here. So this has your Alexa built in. This has your Android Auto, wired, wireless, Apple CarPlay, same deal. And you even have, this is kind of like their Uconnect system. Here we go. So you've got your performance pages like you would see in, I don't know, like a Hellcat or something. So turbo boost pressure, torque readout. You can change your clock here to show you like your brake and throttle telemetry, oil pressure. I mean, there's a bunch of different stuff that you can see. Your all-wheel drive details, if you want to keep drag stuff in here. And then of course you've got an app screen. You pull it down like a notifications thing on your phone. We'll throw it into reverse, which again, reverse has never once worked for me. The first time I press it, I think you have to press and hold. That makes it work a little bit better. The reverse camera in 360, pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good, I would say. It's nice. And then down here, there's a lot going on in your 8.8 inch screen down here. You've got the clock button, which controls this. Every luxury car has to have a clock on the dash, but this clock is digital, so it can be a clock with different layouts, which is cool. You've got a compass option. You've got, again, brake and power, telemetry, and you can even have a G meter, which is very cool. You've got seat controls, seat memory. You hit it again, you got your home screen. So you got your heated seat, your cooled seat, your heated steering wheel. Headlight controls are also in here. Ambient light, there's like 3 different colors, which is kind of lame, especially for $225,000. But this is where you operate the top, as we talked before. And you've got a different button, not in the seats, not in the home screen. I would like to see this scarf option in your home screen somewhere. It's already a little busy, so I guess I get why they put it over here. But you've got buttons for your air suspension, ride height control, and even your glove box. So a lot going on in this lower screen, but from a tech perspective, pretty much everything that you can think of, you got it here. Oh, and I like the trident here on the brake pedal as well. That's a nice touch. And the last thing we'll talk about before we go for a drive is price. Now the base, or Modena trim, Modena, I don't really know how to pronounce it. I was saying Modena and everyone told me I was wrong. But that trim starts at $160,000. The Trofeo full power here, at least for the internal combustion engine, starts at $192,000. And the Cabrio starts at $203,000. That's where the base MSRP is on the Trofeo. And as tested, we're at $225,000. That's a lot of money, but this is a lot of cars. So let's get on the crest and talk a little bit more about what it's like behind the wheel. Hey guys, real quick, Matt here. Just wanted to say I hope you've been enjoying the video. If you have, would really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it does go a long way in helping us get access to cars sooner and get access to manufacturer engineers so we can get more information on the cars and get you more information so you can make better decisions. So would really appreciate you hitting that subscribe, like, comment, the whole YouTube thing. But with that, let's get back to the video. Sunrise on the crest in a Maserati GranCabrio. I mean, life doesn't get much better than this, right? Oh yes, it does. It does on upshift. Look, this may not have the V8 that it used to have, but it still has the snarl. You hear that? It still has that kind of Italian snarl that we loved so much earlier this year in the Stelvio Quadrifoglio, and it has the upshift brrr, that you just get. It's so emotional, and I think it's just good. It's just good. It's just an emotional experience. Now, especially up here on the crest, last year around this time we were in a BMW M4 competition. This is a different experience. This is a bit heavier. I don't have as much communication from the front, but this, I would say, is a much more emotional experience. And I'm an emotional person, and I think at my core, I'm a GT boy. I really love GT cars. They're fast, but they look fantastic. They're sexy, they sound incredible, they're powerful, and they can still get a wiggle on when you really want them to. I mean, I'm having no less fun than I did in the M4. I'm having a different kind of fun, but I'm having no less fun. And it is a more visceral, a more primal, and I hate to keep abusing this word, but a more emotional experience. Now this GranCabrio, the Gran Turismo, they're imperfect products. They're quirky, and we've talked a lot about that over the course of this video. Some of the buttons don't necessarily respond at the first time of asking, and some of the materials maybe aren't as high-end as the over $200,000 price tag might suggest. But you get out here on the crest at sunrise, and you ring out that Nettuno V6, and you get a couple brrrts on the upshift, and it all fades away. It all fades away. It's an imperfect product, but that's what I like about it. If it was perfect and everything worked the first time, it would be German. In fact, I own probably one of the best 6-cylinder engines that's come out of Germany in the last 2-3 decades. And it doesn't have the sound drama. It doesn't have the emotional, primal experience that I get here out of the GranCabrio. Here we go. Listen to this. That's just good stuff. That's just good stuff. Transmission's good. Steering's a bit numb. Feels a bit big and heavy and long, but that's the elegance. That's the suave. That's just kind of the brilliance of the car. It still handles beautifully. The adaptive air suspension is gorgeous. It balances the kind of daily ability over the harsh streets around LA really, really well in comfort and GT. And then it's not like it falls over in a corner up here on the canyons. What a machine. It is flawed, but it's for the flaws that it has personality. And I'm here for it all day. This is just fun. No matter what you want to say, you want to talk about reliability in the comments, whatever. I'm having fun. I'm having a lot of fun in the canyons at sunrise. So, with that, thank you so much to Maserati for letting me have a go. It's our first Maserati press car. So thank you to Kevin and the Maserati team for letting us have a go. I can't see. And thank you to you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.